A quality field of cars competing in the special vehicle category was waiting to do battle with high stakes for those who got off to a flying start and those who were a little slow out of the starting blocks on the opening event. A new arrival in the family kept Mark Corbett from competing in the opening event in the Western Cape, with the Johannesburg businessman and co-driver Rudy Balzar set to give the new Century Racing CR4 its first outing.
Yeah, a brand new car for us this year. We've done quite a bit of development work from the old one. But like usual, we haven't had much time to test. We did some quite wild things with the car, so we managed to only really drive it around the block yesterday, but I think all in all, it feels really good.
At the other end of the scale, veteran Wolf Peter Fomfey was relishing the challenge of racing his 6-year-old home-built WPP.
The challenge, because in regional racing I won just about everything I could. Now I have a new challenge again, just to finish the national races.
For the last 15 years, Fomfey has been racing cars he has built himself.
The car before this one was 15 years and this one is 6 years old now.
For Fomfey, the big challenge is balance.
Well, I'm trying to build an economy, for economic reason, a car which can everybody afford. But unfortunately it has to be a single-seater then. So, and it seems to me I can't improve anymore. That's why the cars all look the same now.
The cars being campaigned by the Motorride team are a little more advanced than the WPP. Nick and Ryan Harper are newcomers to the Motorride fold and got their season off to a solid start.
Yeah, we had a good run in Cape Town. We took it easy and got the result, which is what we wanted. So we haven't got the pressure for the rest of the year. So hoping for this to try and have the same tactic here.
The father and son Harper team took second place on the Adenco 400 in the Western Cape, and it left them second in the championship behind Colin Matthews and Alan Smith in the Century Racing CR3. Reigning champions Cully and Quinton Silwalt recovered from a 10-minute penalty to take the final podium place.
The top 5 seeded crews in the special vehicle category also draw for start positions on the Donaldson Prologue. Who fires the first prologue shots works on a rotation basis, and with the top production vehicles leaving first and acting as pathfinders, being first on the road was not a major issue for the special vehicles. As fate or luck decreed, the Silwalt family made it an all-Palabora affair at the front of the field.
Yeah, well, luckily I think the specials is second on the road, so the buckies, there will be 10 buckies ahead of us, so that's actually good because there's no one in front of us. But yeah, it's nice to be back.
After also missing the opening event of the year, the father and son team of Herman and Wichard Silwalt were having their first outing of the season in the Silwalt Racing SVR. They finished third in the championship behind Shamer Variawa and Siegfried Rousseau, and South African champions Cully and Quinton Silwalt in the Elegant Fuel Bat. A good turnout of spectators watched the cars get underway, with Limpopo crew Naim Mosaji and Rowan Barhanya also having their first outing of the year in the Maxis Tyre Rack Porter.
There was something of a surprise when Mark Corbett and Rudy Balzar posted the fastest time in the new Century Racing CR4. Built to full Dakar Rally specifications, the car is powered by a V8 Lexus motor and led home Colin Matthews and Alan Smith in the Century Racing CR3 running in Class P. Matthews and Smith are flyers and scored their maiden national championship win on the Adenco 400 in the Western Cape.
Ask Colin Matthews or Alan Smith about race strategy, and the simple answer is to go as fast as possible. The pair trailed teammates Corbett and Balzar by 28 seconds, but had time in hand over third-placed Johan van Staden and James Rousseau in the new Atlas Copco Bat Spec 5. Cully and Quinton Silwalt were fourth, but struggled to find a way around the RFS BMW that was still stranded in the mud.
The new BMW was given a little nudge when Cully and Quinton Silwalt made their pass and was in more danger when Herman and Wichard Silwalt arrived on the scene. The Silwalts took a moment or two to decide on a plan of action and then charged into the fray in a spray of mud. Christian de Plooy and Henk Janssen van Vieren could only look on with their hearts in their mouths as the big SVR slid past the Beamer with millimeters to spare.
Another surprise saw the husband and wife team of Marius and Yolinda Fourie running at the sharp end of the field in the BHP Bat, running in Class P. The pair of made a big impression since moving from regional to national competition and were holding at bay the experienced Nick and Ryan Harper in the Motorride bat. The Harpers were not having an easy time at all. Driver and co-driver had lost radio communication with each other, and a couple of deviations off the route cost them time.
Despite their problems, the Harpers were a respectable 7th overall and 5th in Class A. The Harpers' Motorride teammates Evan Hutchison and Dani Stassen were also having problems with the route, and after a promising start found themselves way back in 15th place among the special vehicles. Matters were going a lot better for Naeem Musaji and Rehan Bodanya, although they had also lost radio communication and were also battling with brake problems. Behind the Maxxis tyre rack car, KwaZulu-Natal crew Don Thompson and Wayne Foster had built up a head of steam in the Zarko, although they also complained about brake problems. Thompson and Foster were running ahead of fellow Class P crew Archie Rutherford and Mike Lawrenson, who were hit by 2 deviations from the route in the Regent Racing Gymco.
It was all smiles in the Century Racing camp, with Mark Corbett and Rudy Balzar taking a win first time out in the brand new CR4.
Yeah, we had a good run in the time trial today. Obviously, I'm smiling because we first managed to set pole position for our car, and then second in our team as well is Colin Matthews, so it's nice to be 1-2. And I really think that this car is something special. It's a testament to Julian's design and Julian and Rudy's build quality that we can bring a new car out and win on the debut.
There were also no complaints back at race headquarters from last year's winner, Johan van Staden from the Atlas Copco camp.
I'm quite happy with the results. A little bit of unexpected result at the end. I had brake failure about 15 kilometers in, so it was quite difficult to get the car to brake in time, so James started bringing it in, maybe a little bit earlier, 300 meters already, but surprise, we got back. I think I'm second A-class on a road tomorrow morning. That's an excellent result.
The traditional start for the Toyota Dealer 400 is outside Lydenburg Toyota in the heart of the town. Traffic authorities and the police cordon off streets in the town centre, and for a couple of hours, a festival atmosphere prevails as crowds of enthusiasts line the sidewalks to catch a glimpse of the action. There was plenty of early interest for off-road enthusiasts, with 2 Century Racing entries ready to do early battle at the front of the field.
I've got my teammates in front of me. They did exceptionally well yesterday. It was the first time out in their new car. They beat us good and proper yesterday.
Fresh from 9 days in a bicycle saddle on the Absa Cape Epic, former SA champion Duncan Force was in a confident frame of mind.
We've done a lot of work in the break between the last race and this race, getting them more reliable. And hopefully we've done sort of almost a full race test up until now, and we haven't had problems, so I think our reliability is there, and obviously we've put it on pole, so we're looking for a good result today.
With the tension and excitement starting to build, first car away was the futuristic-looking Century Racing CR4 of Mark Corbett and Rudy Balzar. A first-time out win for Corbett and